Alright everybody, I'm going to do something a little different now. It might be a two-parter here today. Finally figured out how to put some slides up here, so I'm going to give you kind of an idea of why making money in silver right now might be a little frustrating while we're waiting for a big move. I'm going to show you how to determine the strength of anything, a commodity or a stock or anything like that, by using the quarterly charts, the monthly charts, the weekly charts, and the daily charts. Each of these four periods will have a value of 25 up or down. So you'll add 25 for an uptick, and you'll subtract 25 for a downtick. So this first chart you're looking at is a quarterly chart of silver, and you'll notice that in the third quarter last year, October, the low of that quarter was lower than the previous three quarters. So that obviously would be a minus 25. Now if you're just a buyer and you don't want to go short, then that would be a value of 0. What you're looking for is a value of 100 in the 25 quarter, 25 monthly, 25 weekly, and 25 daily. When you have all four of those lined up, you have a huge, very, very strong buy signal. And that can determine what percentage of your money to allocate towards the purchase. Like if only the daily is showing a buy signal, then put 25% of your money in the buy, because the quarterly, the monthly, and the weekly are all showing negative trends, and you'll save a lot of money that way. So anyway, so we have the quarter. Now let's look at the monthly. Okay, this monthly right here, you'll see that we actually have we're actually up. Right around, if you look at the bottom there, the months right in January there, that highest high, well no, it wasn't even in January, it's February. Doesn't matter where we finished, just matters where we reached. And the high of February, the month of February, was higher than the previous 3 months, so we have a 25 value there. And it's currently in a 25 value until the current month low is lower than the previous 3 months. So right now we can add a score of 25 to that. Now let's look at the weekly. The weekly chart, we were in an uptrend. This is how we determine the master trend for trading the daily. But this now technically is still in a negative trend until it gets back above. Well, it depends on how soon it rises. See, if it were to go up past 1450 this week, but it stays down like, then it doesn't have to go as high as a buy signal because the weeks will stay lower. So right now, this can't count. You should be completely out of the silver, the SLV, because the trend rules could fall. I would all trends. And then look at the daily. Hold on 1 second. Here's the daily of silver, and we can see that right around, we get that the big red mark down from the top was where we sold at 1375, because the lowest low of that day was below the lowest low of the previous 3 days, and we've been out ever since, and we've been feeling good about being out. And then yesterday we got a short sell signal because the trend pointed lower, even though it's had a nice bounce. Let me show you this chart right there. This is the ZSL. This is double short silver, which is a little safer than actually shorting the SLV, because your losses are unlimited with a short. And I long this, I think, at 1270, and I have a stop loss at 1170, since that's the lowest low of the previous 3 days, and still is. Tomorrow I'll raise that stop loss if I don't get, because the 3 day will still be 1170 tomorrow. If I don't get stopped out, it'll still be 1170. And then the next day after that, Friday, I should be either out or raising my stop loss on that. So that's how I do that. That's how you determine. So silver only really has a score of 25 on the monthly. The monthly is pointing up, but the weekly, daily, and quarterly are all pointing down. It's real hard to it's going to be choppy in that kind of a situation. Now, if they're all pointing upward, then that means that equity is flying to the moon, and you can apply that with anything. So see, I gave you the analysis of what I'm doing on silver. Let's look over here at gold. Here's the daily gold. Obviously you should be out of gold, but it's a nice looking, it's a nice chart, nice upward trending chart, not too high, not too fast. I don't like all the selling at the end there with all the red candlesticks there, which means it opened at the top of the red candlestick and closed below at the low. That's a lot of selling. Which kind of brings me to my next point, because, and I heard Alex Jones mention this too, that you know, the central banks, they're not stupid. They're not going to miss out on the next big thing. They were there for the tech boom. They were there for the housing boom, and they're going to be here for the oil boom too, or the oil, or the, you know, the precious metals boom and the natural materials. So natural resources. So what kind of game would they be playing right now? Well, I'm thinking they're buying gold and silver to hoard it, to actually control the price, and if that's going to be the new monetary policy, then they'll still have control over the money. So they should be hoarding gold and silver right now, but keeping their short sales up. They should be shorting the paper to hold the price down while they hoard it, and then they can lift all of they can just default on their short sale and let the government bail them out, and all that short selling will be lifted off the market and the price will explode, which will be good for us too. But that's what I would be doing, because that's obviously the next bubble. So I don't know how much more time I have there, or does it show? Let me think. I think that's going to be it for this one. I'll do a second one. Yeah, I'll do a comparison on the next one. But anyway, that's why it's been kind of choppy lately, until we get pointing up on all fours. I think gold has a score of 50 right now. I think the weekly and the monthly are up, but the quarterly, and I can't remember which one I've done now since I just did silver. So that's the play right now. Let me go back to silver here, the daily silver. Now you can see, since I'm short with the ZSL, I'm looking for a day that's higher than the previous 3 days. So tomorrow we'd have to go above 1140. Yeah, above 11, I think that's 1140, in order for me to close out my short position, which would probably stop me out on the ZSL. Typically it would be a buy signal if we were trending upward, but since the trend was broken, we're just out. So for the uptrend we'd buy, but on a downtrend we're just out. And it's not going to be the trend won't turn upward again until the highest week, the daily highest, the weekly high, the current weekly high is higher than the previous 3 weeks, which this week silver would have to go to above 1450. It would have to touch the 1450 range for the trend to reverse right now, and that would be obviously a huge buy signal. So now I'm just short. Tomorrow, if it goes up, we'll be out and completely neutral on silver until we get another buy signal. And I'm going to end this now, just in case I'm over time. I'm going to do a second one though.